never get over the intro. I really won't. I love it. I really love it. I think I do need to shift a few people around though. There's been a few people who have been on the show that I would like to put on there. Some who I'm not sure will ever be on the show, but I know personally that I just put in there anyway. But yeah. Other than that, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's been a busy day, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to bail a little early on this one. So sorry in advance to everyone.
It's okay. At least you're not being a nerd and watching the Artemis take off. We're in fucking nerd. The probably is fucking out there watching space shit and whatnot. But honestly, if I could, I would go do that. That's fucking awesome that
Well,
he's
he's
gonna do
he's
that.
covering it for work, so
It doesn't matter if
to
he's
be
covering it
fair.
for work or if he's doing it as a I mean, covering it for work in that instance is just as good as because now you're getting paid to go watch it. It's like, yeah, it's tits time. Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah,
Let's say hello to the
Joey.
audience. We do have a Star Wars trailer later. We're doing trailers today, everybody. We got Ms. Sparkles, who fits the theme always in her. We got Road on Life, who's actually a last minute edition guest because we lost Brawler, and I have no idea if Paul is going to make it. Tyler's out there. I am finishing the video is almost done. It's one of those things I've been dragging ass on because I've been learning a new software, and I'm just kind of like, it's kind of algorithmically irrelevant now anyway, so I might as well just use it as a practice thing and just do as much as I can.
Which software are you learning?
I never used DaVinci Resolve before. It's really intuitive though, so it's
So I'm like trying to decide whether or not I should make the jump into that because I've been using Premiere for over 20 years.
hmm
And like the way DaVinci Resolve integrates with your system, like the hardware in your system is much better than Premiere,
yeah.
but I don't feel like learning anything new. Sorry.
That's really been slowing me down. That's the one thing is learning. It does have some cool little functions. It has the ability to do waveform replacements on audio and stuff, which is pretty cool. Other than that, though, I mean, I like it so far. It's slowed down the process completely. And speaking of Star Trek, we got Movie Blues 420 out there, who has officially surpassed me, and I think he may have surpassed you guys. He was one of the only channels that really did well off of the
His Star Trek shit blew up.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
congrats, dude. That's awesome.
But we have no Star Trek today, or well, I mean, that technically Starfleet Academy wasn't even Star Trek. But what we do have is a returning member of the panel, one of the more regular ones at this point. That's Mr. Road on Life, who actually really fits the theme of the day since he drives tractor trailers.
Yeah, and you also got who is that? Skeletor in the thumbnail as well.
Oh yeah. That was That was Skeletor from I think I'm pretty certain it's from the. I haven't watched the He-Man trailer yet. Most of these I haven't watched yet.
Oh,
So
okay, cool. I'm 44 seconds into it. I haven't finished it yet, so
yeah,
that's good.
yeah. Most of them I haven't watched yet because I like to try to be as natural of a reaction for these trailer things that we do. Some of them I just have seen in passing though. But yeah, that's supposedly what Skeletor looks like from what I've seen.
Yes, it's not a bad look. He's my uncle, you know.
I was trying to get a good copy of the scene from I think it was when they did the Masters of the Universe and like the Snorks or something crossover. He's like, I am not nice, I am not wonderful, I am not any of these things. But I couldn't find it. It was everyone looked like shit and had terrible sound. But
Yeah. No matter how well that movie does, good, bad, terrible, mid, great, I'm obligated to review it on my aesthetic alone.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is when it comes to good movies, though, I almost feel like I have to wait because no one wants to unless you're doing like a really quick review. If you're trying to do a breakdown, no one wants to hear it until they've seen the movie, so you might as well wait. But who knows if it's garbage, then you just tear it apart. But that does bring me to our next guest, who I've been in contact with for a couple of months now. He has quite possibly the greatest name in the history of movie reviewing on YouTube, and we were talking backstage about how we can't believe it wasn't taken. But it works out in his favor, and the fact that he has his name as Adam here means that it's a really good person to talk about Masters of the Universe. That's Mr. Review Bomb.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Welcome. We just found out that we were neighbors. So
That's true. That's exciting news.
I was saying how I like how your avatar kind of looks as if the Kool-Aid Man joined a jihad.
That's true. Killing people with diabetes.
I was thinking
Explosion
Babam,
of
but
sugar.
now I can't unsee the Kool-Aid Man since you brought it
It
up.
kind of looks a little Kool-Aid Man-ish, but in the best possible way. But yeah, so just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming. What is it? Off the cover. Paul from Off the Cover might be here shortly. If he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's fine. I'm chill when it comes to that kind of shit. But let's figure it out. We'll let the chat kind of chime in as well. But we're gonna. These are the trailers we're going to be watching in no particular order. We'll let people select. We've already kind of said what we want to do. Supergirl first, but Supergirl, Mall, Harry Potter, which has kind of been already talked about to death. Brand New Day, Masters of the Universe, Dune 3, and Backrooms from A24. So everyone can vote, including the audience. As of right now, I know that Matt, you wanted Supergirl, so.
yeah, I just want to get the shitty things out of the way first, like the absolute dog shit. Just, swipe it aside.
Hold on. I gotta move myself. Oh, am I in the wrong mode here? What the hell? There we go. I guess we could just do that one first, I guess, if everybody's in agreement.
I mean, the fucking thumbnail just tells you everything you need to know.
All right, let me buckle up.
It's painful, dude. It really is.
Hold on. From this, does metric ass ton or metric ass ton? I don't know which one of those means that there's a lot of trailers were dropped. It's fine. English was not my favorite subject, so where the hyphen goes is not my speciality. But I guess we'll start with this one. So obviously I have to play it in segments. So we'll kind of go through it. This is probably one of the older ones too, right? Everyone just give me a sound check real quick while we're.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara.
Yeah, I have to do it in like 10-second increments, unfortunately.
I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have
cool vocal
no
fry.
people.
Yeah.
Solid.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said cool vocal fry. Solid. Can't wait.
Oh, miss wherever you are, buddy.
Great stop right there. That's a great thumbnail. I gotta save that. But what the actress is? I forget her name all of a sudden. She has this unique ability of looking like she's 12 and 52 at the same time. I'm really not sure what that's about, but
yeah, it's like the mouth or something.
Crypto and I at least had each other.
I'm lowering it a little bit so we can hear each other.
Honestly, I thought we were lucky.
Okay, so far, it seems.
But luck, almost by definition, runs out.
This feels not anything like an actual superhero film, by the way.
What can I do?
The Brickens carry the antidote on that person. He has 3 days.
You cannot give it.
God.
Honestly, it just feels like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, of course. I mean,
at this point,
yeah.
No faith in their own project.
What was that?
They got no faith in their own projects. They got to rip off somebody else.
It's my innocent family.
Was that Oscar Isaacs? Is who that was?
No, it's the what's that guy's name? The Jewish dude from he was like in
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
I know that the Jewish dude from like he was like a kid in Addams Family Values. He was like the Jewish kid at the camp that they went to, and he's in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it's the same dude from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh, I've never seen that movie, so I don't know. David Krumholtz is his name, I think.
Yeah, he looks kind of Oscar Isaacs-ish. I haven't even looked at the actors in this yet because I don't care. That's the only one I know. Is the fact that they brought Lobo in.
My head.
They're already jumping the shark like crazy with it.
Of course.
It honestly, a lot of it just gives off the exact same vibes as Superman, just with a different font.
It won't take your pain away.
A lot of the scenes even look similar.
It's so fucking painfully formulaic. It's just
formulaic, generic.
Yeah. You know exactly what part of the movie it is just watching this trailer. And you're going to be 100% correct.
I'm suffering. There's no home.
The reliance on crypto in this early section of their DCU is insanity.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I didn't realize that, like, crypto was, like, the driving force behind this film. Like, that's not the right way to go.
Okay, so
like
I couldn't read anybody's
Here's a dog.
Comments while that was going on. I apologize because it was
fucking terrible.
Let me go back.
I'll credit this. They at least cast Lobo perfectly.
So you know, and I don't even know if he's going to be good or not, you know, because he kind of sucks, but he is right for this role over Aquaman, and like he actually is perfect for it. So
yeah, definitely for Lobo. I mean, he looks a lot like, I mean, so Lobo is
fucking just like him.
It's funny because Lobo started looking nothing when he first started looking nothing like that, and he just slowly evolved to look like that. I just hope the voice is very important for Lobo because he's got to have that trucker kind of like space trucker / biker kind of feel to him.
Yeah,
and you barely hear him speak in the trailer, which is probably a good thing because I wouldn't be shocked if almost every line of his is probably a quip of some kind.
Yep.
He's gonna say the
what are
things.
some of my favorite comic runs? I mean, I have a ton of them. Probably, I mean, it's like per character almost. Walt Simonson's Thor is one of the greatest runs in the history of anything. Peter David's Incredible Hulk, which runs 5 omnibus, 6 if you include the Maestro. Fantastic. You could read that for 5 years and be fine. I like 90s, a lot of the 90s DC stuff, specifically because when I first got into comics, that's what was going on. I know a lot of people aren't fans of it because they killed off a lot of characters or did weird shit with a lot of them. But like, obviously Nightfall, fantastic. The beginning of Death of Superman, really good. It tapers off toward the end. And I'm being a Green Lantern fan, and I've always loved despite the fact that Ron Mars is a douchebag, I still love his work, you know. Those are probably those. And then if you want to talk about non-big two, Criminal by Ed Brubaker is like my all-time favorite comic series, which is getting turned into a show supposedly end of this year, beginning of next year. So,
cool. Sorry for something else they'll fuck up.
I mean, supposedly Ed Brubaker is actually in the writing process, and he owns the rights to that. Like that's his. It's not like nobody else owns it. So
that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So anyway, so while I go through these comments, why don't you guys just talk a little bit more about Supergirl and how it was the most generic looking fucking trailer I've ever seen?
I, for one, am actually stunned by the negativity experienced here from this trailer. It's got everything that you could possibly want from the first moment. An old song that's being reused. I mean, who's done that?
I've never seen that before.
I'm shocked. It's broken new ground from the very moment. It's brown. Everything is brown. No one's done that yet.
Nope.
And at least in this DC, I guess there were complaints about the colors in Superman being too much, so they said we'll just go brown. I mean, that's listening to the fans already. That's listening to the audience.
Hold on. Stupenzo's asking about my shirt. This is the Tyrannosaurus Easter shirt. So it's like a known fact I have for every holiday. I don't have. They just made a Mardi Gras one. I should have got that because that's more relevant for today. But I have a T-Rex shirt, a T-Rex Hawaiian shirt for every major holiday except for Christmas. I have an ugly Christmas sweater version. So keep going on.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's brown. That's awesome. I love brown. My poop is brown. I see it every day. I love it. Also, Craig Gillespie, renowned director Greg Gillespie. His name is emboldened, and you know who Craig Gillespie is, right?
Yeah, he's that guy.
Exactly.
Heard the name many times.
We always want you always want a movie directed by that guy. I mean, this got everything except, probably a good story and anything that people care about. Other than that, they're off to.
I actually have to look up what else he's. So I just looked it up because I've heard the name before. But I don't. I generally don't log unless it's really good. I don't log directors who directed things.
I'm a little familiar with him. I know the only thing of note that I know him of is he did the Margot Robbie movie, I, Tonya.
Tonya,
which is good.
A few episodes of random television shows that I've never watched. He did 3 episodes of that Pam and Tommy show, which I remember was a thing. He's kind of just a not really particularly terrible, but not anything noteworthy here. I mean, Cruella was pretty ass, but other than that, most of the stuff is just kind of. Mr. Woodcock was kind of funny for its time in that like late 2000s, Sean William Scott era of comedy. But
yeah, and he did the Fright Night remake, which could have been a lot worse than it was. It's not great, and it's not anything near what the original is, of course. But
I would also just like to highlight that Ms. Sparkles is not only celebrating 3 months of membership, which actually is probably more like 9 or 10. She's been a member before, and it kind of like lapsed, and she came back. So I'm going to give her credit for at least 10 months on that one. But she also super chatted me $2 to say that she likes my shirt, Stupenzo, and the bomb is adorable.
Thank you. It's not a Kool-Aid man, as some people have said earlier. It's a bomb. Trust me. I know. I made it. It's a bomb.
Yeah, I mean that's that. There's not really that much that can be said about that trailer, other than it like everything from that was almost beat for beat exactly the same as the James Gunn Superman trailer.
Yeah, well, I mean, this one though, you got like Crypto's the driving force, so she's trying to save him. She's got 3 days, so you got that time crunch, and then you got the fucking little girl that she's with. So in mentoring that girl, she's gonna learn how to be a hero, and the little girl is gonna learn to.
Let me see. I'm not even sure who's playing who. I'm gonna look it up because maybe I might be able to add some context to these characters if I actually know who they're supposed to be. And someone's farting into a microphone, and I believe it's Road on Life that is doing it. Yeah, I mean, this is almost exclusively, a lot of this stuff is almost exclusively based from the Tom King run, and Tom King is notoriously bad writer. But he's also even more notoriously bad artist. It's actually like a rite of passage at all New York and San Diego Comic-Cons. You wait on his line with like a sketch cover, and he draws you a terrible sketch cover. You just tell him what it is, and it's like he's like the opposite of a police sketch artist. It looks nothing like what you said, and he's trying. That's the funny part.
When was his run? Like, what year was it?
That wasn't that long ago in the greater
scheme
of things.
that's all I needed to know.
Within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course it's balls.
Supergirl,
21 to
tomorrow.
22. So yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't very. I mean, he's notorious for a terrible Batman run. He's notorious. He as a person seems like he's okay. Like when I met him in person, I don't think he's particularly good at writing. Either that or he's intentionally bad. I'm not sure which, but
What was his Batman run?
the Batman by Tom King. That's just
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
yeah. A lot of times the Batman runs unless they're a big event are just like Batman by
I see. Okay.
Let
I mean,
me
because
see.
you had like
I think that was before his Supergirl run, if I recall correctly.
okay.
I want to say that was like in the mid like 20 teens in that range.
Yeah, garbage.
Yeah, pretty much anything post 2012 is just not good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was surprised. Tom King, every time I've of course I've not met him, but from things I've read about him, he seems to really enjoy the smell of his own farts. He certainly holds himself in a much higher regard than anyone ever should. I guess he's a former CIA agent, so I guess maybe that's just how they are. I don't know. Yeah, when I heard that it was being loosely adapted from that work, I was like, why? That a lot of people praise that run as like a seminal story for Supergirl, and I've just never really cared for it.
Yeah, I mean, Supergirl doesn't have any great, for the most part, doesn't have many great runs. She really, at her core, she's a supporting character.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if you guys read. I know Dark Hour reads comics. I don't know. If you guys
I got to pull up that picture I sent the other day. I wrote on Life saw it. One of my shelves is it's literally bowing in the middle, like it's doing this.
But even among like comic book readers, Supergirl is always, at least in my experience, is always there. But no one's ever really hyped on Supergirl. They're just kind of like, yeah, Supergirl.
Power Girl gets more notoriety mostly because of the giant boobs.
Right.
But she's also, Power Girl actually has some cool storylines, being like the alternative universe Supergirl. I'm trying to think, like it was. I mean, she worked a lot with the Justice Society, so that helped because she was very prevalent during the Jeff Johns run of Justice Society of America, which was fantastic. So that helped her a lot. It was. It's weird that an alternative version of a character that'd be like Owlman Earth 3 being bigger than Batman. It's just weird that the main one is not the bigger one.
Also, it's funny. I've seen James Gunn talk about this movie. People have asserted that he's got his hands all over it. He denies this, but from that trailer alone, unless the trailer's just really throwing a curveball at us, it feels like James Gunn's fingers are all in this movie, just from that trailer 100%. Alone.
100%.
Again, the trailer is just a trailer; it's not the finished product. But I can't help.
Nowadays, trailers might as well be the finished product. One of the reasons I tend to avoid trailers is because they give away everything right away, and you get basically a 2-minute synopsis of the movie, start to finish, or 3 minutes in some cases.
Yeah, the thing is, though, with this being the second movie in James Gunn's DC movie verse, I'm not so sure this is going to do well. I just don't know how much the general public feels about Supergirl, especially with Superman underwhelming. I'm not going to say it was a failure, but it certainly didn't do as well as I think anyone hoped. Coming out swinging with another one that probably won't do that great. I can't imagine
Lobo and PG-13. He's essentially Lobo is essentially the Deadpool of at this point. I mean, Deadpool actually was made after Lobo, if I recall correctly, but because Lobo like dates back to like Omega Men 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
and but the way that he is now in the comics is very similar to Deadpool, and just quips left and right, just complete disregard for everything, breaking the fourth wall from time to time. Not quite as much, but him in a PG-13 movie. Just imagine if Deadpool movies were PG-13 and how unenjoyable those would probably be. So
yeah, honestly, I mean, with what's coming up next for DC is what Lanterns and this. I think we can all agree that the best thing that will probably be coming out is the Batman 2, and it's still a couple of years away. So,
and
probably
it's
going to be
completely isolated away from the DCU. So,
yeah, it's probably going to be. Again, I could be wrong. Audiences could surprise me here, but I think they're going to have another underperformer on their hands, and that's just not. I mean, it's not going to be a good thing.
Didn't Supergirl have a significantly lower budget than Superman? Wasn't that like the whole reporting thing recently?
I think it's supposed to be just over 100. I think.
Yeah, so it's they're clearly not like they're hoping that this can probably make, if it makes around 250 million, which it's still probably quite a lot higher than I would expect it. You know, that's probably where they would be happy with it. You know, I don't go that crazy route of like trying to do the calculations, because I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to accounting. But I just use the standard. If you exceed double, you're at least getting close to profitability. So
yeah. So,
gentlemen, I have to leave, unfortunately.
No, not a problem. If you get back before we're done, just pop back in.
Yep,
I will. You know where to find it.
I will try. All right, guys. Sorry that this was so brief, but we'll catch up soon.
As long as you're there for the intro and me to bounce off of you for a little bit, that's all I care about.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
I'll drive by your house later. We'll talk about it.
All right. Yeah, sounds good, man. Later, dude.
Yeah, son of a bitch, fucking asshole.
I can say this about the trailer. I already hate it because that goddamn song is still stuck in my head.
Well, that's one thing that Stupenzo mentioned, and where was it? Let me see. I'll pull it back up. I can't find the actual comment, but it was how many of these fucking movies are going to start with a single piano key. It's almost every single movie is like that ting, and then it goes into the trailer every time.
Do something different. Give us a goddamn gong or something.
We're well into like a decade into that trend. Who started that trend? I want to think maybe it was
Marvel. Marvel definitely started that trend.
Age of Ultron that started it, kind of?
Probably.
Probably.
It was around that era. It was around that like phase 2 era where it became very popular. And didn't they also do it with the Star Wars sequels as well? They always started it with one. So it's really just Disney in general has started that trend with their trailers.
I don't know. I think maybe some of the Dark Knight trailers did it too.
No, the Dark Knight was all
Dark Knight had like it almost sounded like a car like going by. That's often what yeah. Oh, you just got here, sweet shirt. Yes, this is one of my favorites.
We need to get back to the narrator, you know, in the city, that kind of thing for movie
the city, in space, and with her dog. She must fight to get drunk. That's pretty much what it is. I just got a message from Paul. He'll be here in about a half hour, so we can do one more trailer, and he'll probably be in there for the next one. So, okay, we're done with Supergirl. I don't want to talk about her anymore if we could avoid it. Unless you guys have anything else to add. I feel like we kind of did everything. Yeah.
Nothing more.
That's all I got.
Yes, actually, Age of Ultron did do Pinocchio, but it was only one of the trailers did Pinocchio because they had like 2 or 3 for it. But I don't know. I that's actually a good research project to go back through trailers and try to find the first one you can with that piano key.
Right, so you can make an entire video of just that.
Just sitting there, just like the whole thing's like a murder mystery, but like I'm in search of a piano key. We need to figure out who started this trend.
You've got red yarn strung from movie to movie on a wall.
I don't have the Mario Galaxy trailer only because that's coming out like today, so I don't think it's really all that super relevant right now in terms of trailers. It's like the actual movies coming out. I do have a story about Mario Galaxy though. So I found out the hard way that movie theaters do not understand how calendars and clocks work. So my theater had it listed as, and I will ask you this, if you saw a movie listing that said March 31st, 12:01 a.m., what would you think, what day and time would you think that movie was coming out? I'll let you guys answer that in the most obvious way possible. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say probably on the 31st.
Yeah, you'd think that would have been today at 12:01 a.m., right?
Yep.
Well, logically speaking, I would assume a few hours, like almost 24 hours ago.
Yes. So apparently movie theaters operate on a 3 a.m. to 2:59 a.m. schedule. So they've just invented their own day. And that 12:01 a.m. on March 31st is actually will take place in approximately 5-ish hours on April 1st. So April 1st at 12:01 a.m. And I basically ended up at a theater that nobody was at, questioning my life choices last night. So, yeah,
So
fun fact.
Run on their own time.
Yeah, they just run their own version of a day. It's apparently their version of midnight is 3 a.m. So
when you said that was what we were going to talk about, I was looking for showings in my area everywhere, and I was like, did Dark Hour go to like an early premiere?
That's what I thought it was, because I live pretty close to New York. I thought they were doing like an early showing. So I was just like, ooh, that's gonna be, I'll get the scoop. I'll be able to talk about all this shit. But then
I was even trying to find like, is there like a pirate leak somewhere? Couldn't find anything on it. So I just was like, well, I guess I'll just wing it. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to see the movie.
Yeah. So we can I guess what we'll do is I will put up the Brand New Day trailer next. We'll do that because I saw somebody said that in the chat. So hold on, let me share that screen. That's this one, and then I gotta do this thing.
From the very first shot, I'm appalled by this trailer.
Oop! I just moved you. I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. Okay, you mean this shot right here?
No, when you press play.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I just got it.
Now, I'm not going to lie. There are parts of this trailer that I actually like.
Okay, so let's get this going here. It's like you kind of got to do some like weird stuff to get this to work properly. Let me make sure that we're not too loud.
I can't believe our first hit in my team. MJ, come on. Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
You're doing this shit on purpose.
I am. So go ahead, review bomb.
Yeah, that shot one frame before this where he's standing on the girder. This looks this is incredibly ugly.
You know what it is? He looks fine. It's everything around him looks fucking terrible though. You can tell he's on a soundstage.
Everything from the waist down on him is obviously been airbrushed to death.
There should definitely be some dick print right about here based on this.
I'm convinced that this entire thing might be CGI, this entire shot. Because even Tom Holland's head looks composited. That doesn't look like he's actually there. There's another close-up in a couple of frames where he looks completely different. The suit does too.
I can't.
This here, yeah. Like this actually looks like material that he's wearing, not whatever was just in the shot before that.
Yeah, there's a really good chance he's just wearing a green suit and they're just putting it over it. That's a possibility. So I mean, right off the bat with this trailer, the first thing that pisses me off, somebody mentioned it in the Discord earlier. It's like you had this big thing you commit to not killing off, but having him separate from his friends, right? You know, and within 8 seconds of the trailer, it's like, oh, they're in the movie anyway. It doesn't matter. At least they got away from nanotech.
That's true.
Though this looks, I'm actually glad I stopped. It looks really weird. Like this is a moment here where I wish there was nanotech because this is a horrible fucking shot. This is not how this mask would be on his face.
Yeah, it would be.
There would not be this giant gap here.
That'd be like if he was wearing a motorcycle helmet.
It's or like Red Hood's mask, where it's like a plastic mask over, or like I guess a carbon fiber mask.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker.
I think, I'm starting to realize I know what hits you on these trailers when you play them on your channel. It's the music, because there's always licensed music in trailers nowadays.
you don't remember me, but
because
we used to
everything
know
is
each
they
other.
license all of this stuff.
Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it
He's getting the key from Kamala Harris over here.
was to make everyone forget about me.
Who the fuck is that guy? I saw one. It was a post somebody put where so Ned's only friend his whole life was Peter Parker, right? And now he's been erased from everybody's memory. So Ned's entire life is just him having memories of sitting alone at lunch tables and playing video games by himself and not having anybody to talk to. So he actually has a worse life because of what happened, not a better life.
Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
And
What the hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering.
The convenient web hole for his
Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
Okay. I will say this. That's actually an inventive way to deal with the having a character who would drop F-bombs and not being able to, is to essentially get halfway through it and then web his mouth. That is actually pretty inventive.
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it...
Go ahead. Sorry. It's funny because I still think that pretty much almost every single one of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies has just missed the mark every single time. It was almost there with Homecoming, but was way too reliant on Tony Stark being part of it to kind of drive it over. What is it? Far From Home was it had this whole, it just felt out of place. I know that it was dependent on what happened in Endgame, but it just felt like such an out of place movie to be the end of a phase, and then No Way Home is one of those movies that it's enjoyable to watch the first time, but the more scrutiny you put it under, the worse it gets, unfortunately. It's still like I still find it enjoyable, but it definitely just played up to member berries and having how much of everything can we cram into one screen kind of moments.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah, let's finish out the trailer first. Let's get through this one, then we can talk about it as an overall.
If it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
Tom Holland. Okay, I have to say this about Tom Holland. He has to watch a lot of movies of other people fucking his real world fiance wife. That's his entire existence at this point. He's a Hollywood cuck.
What is?
Yeah, now he has to actually watch it.
It's happening to me.
Got some weird looking nipples. I just gotta say that. It's got those weird.
I can't comment. Minor.
I'm just joking.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
So this is where, unfortunately, they honestly, if they hadn't used him in No Way Home, this is where Kirk Connors would have been great to include instead of,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it doesn't really make sense for Bruce Banner because it's not his research is gamma. It has nothing to do with how Spider-Man got his powers. It's a radiation, yes, but it's not gamma radiation.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable.
Yes, it is. Yes.
To threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
That was some shit fucking. That was definitely like an 80-yard line. I'm gonna play that one. Hold on. Watch his lips.
Stay out of my way.
It wasn't even like sung up properly.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
So obviously the hand, so Daredevil will be involved. It just doesn't make any sense otherwise.
rebirth.
I was planning on it. Yep. Right here. Yeah, look what they're jumping this direction. Yeah, there's definitely something supposed to be here. You can see that at least at minimum these two, maybe this one, but at minimum these two are jumping this direction. It's hard to tell with this one. But.
Rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a
No, you're
neighbor
not.
from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Okay, let me check if the stream got shut down while we were playing that. Okay. Oop, did we? Oh, you're not even on the screen anymore. So yeah, that was it. First of all, I would like to just point out that Brand New Day is probably the most if you ask Spider-Man fans, the worst story in Spider-Man history, it usually comes down to Brand New Day and the clone, the Clone Era, the Clone Saga. But Brand New Day is especially hated because it's the same one where he makes a deal with Mephisto to erase basically what they stole, the erasing memories from and all that, erasing your history, but it's to save Aunt May. It was also just a story that existed so that way they could make sense out of the Tobey Maguire no web shooters. They just made him evolve to shoot it out of his hands, which still doesn't make any sense. You should shoot it out of his ass, if anything. But go on. I know that Road on Life. I know that you said you had some things you wanted to say, so go ahead.
Yeah. As far as No Way Home is concerned, it was an absolute crowd pleaser, designed that way with all the freaking cameos and all the required so much damn homework of all the Spider-Man movies up until that point. You can criticize that for it, but of the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, it had the best ending of them because it actually felt like Peter Parker suffered, like he actually paid a price. Tom Holland Spider-Man in the other two movies had it easy, especially compared to the other two that we had seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that one had lasting consequences. And now we're thinking, oh, how is he going to move on? Is he going to start with a clean slate? Is he going to try to have a normal life without anyone he's interacted with? Nope, he's going back to the same people we've seen before. He's essentially stalking people that have magically forgotten him. And that's where that's the negative part of this. The positive is we get to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man with Punisher and potentially Daredevil.
And I don't think there's any way that Daredevil's not part of this in some way. I mean, Punisher in the MCU is 100% connected to Daredevil at this point. So to bring him in and then to have the hand, it's if they didn't have Daredevil, and also Daredevil was in No Way Home as well. So, or was that Far From Home? I forget which one it was.
No, you're right.
It was No Way Home. He was Peter's lawyer.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of fucked up. He got Peter off the charges for Mysterio. But if you've seen Daredevil season 3, how they got Fisk is essentially the same shit that Mysterio did to Peter. That's just all kinds of stuff. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but if not, it's a hilarious accident.
Yeah. I know there's other characters that have been announced but aren't really prevalent in the trailer. Tombstone, who is... It's weird. It's almost like they're trying to have this street level thing, but then I'm not even 100% certain which character is supposed to be this entity that's shooting from person to person. I'm not really 100% certain who that's supposed to be. And then we've also heard rumors that maybe Jean Grey is being played by Sadie Sink. So I don't know. It just seems like it's another one of these. We're just going to throw as many things on screen as we can. Yeah, and the red ninjas are the hand. That's just always kind of how they've looked.
Bruce Banner, logically, is a bad call. In all honesty, they had a better idea if they did what the animated series did, with Peter learning about his mutation, going to see the fucking X-Men instead to talk to Professor X.
Yes.
In fact, they could tie in X-Men that way, but then you have the X-Men among all the other fucking characters that are in this movie, and it's just too many balls in the air.
So here's the thing is, and I don't like to do this too much because I've seen speculation that Jean Grey is the one doing the mind control, but that doesn't make any sense for what we were seeing. You know, like why would she be doing that? So I don't like to do this is the route they should go, and what, because then it's, you know, it's fan casting, like, you know, it's just me being like, oh, what I wish I would see. I hear you've opened a door. I hear it. Someone opened a door. But my characters that I would actually, I because they broke off from M, I would have liked to see them get maybe Black Cat involved. I think that would have been an interesting. So, you know, maybe they could have used it as an excuse to bring in Gwen Stacy instead. You know, and to almost do like a reverse of what the comics did, which is, you know, originally it was Gwen Stacy and then she dies and then, you know, you get MJ later. And but if they could have did a reverse, but I think they're missing a golden opportunity to go the Felicia Hardy route. Which is unfortunate.
That's what I was hoping for, because they opened the door to that now.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, if you want to go street level, if that's really what you want, is your like street level, like Spider-Man, Black Cat's great. Obviously, they make the Tombstone. What was that?
Nothing. I'm having technical issues. Hold on, let me mute.
No problem. Yeah. Review bomb. How about you? What do you think?
I will say, to preface all this.
Oh, somebody actually said it in the chat. What it literally is. I was sorry. I was up a little higher in the chat. So
I'm generally pretty positive toward the Tom Holland era of Spider-Man, and all of those movies I've liked pretty well. So this will probably be. I'm probably going to see this. It'll probably be the one superhero movie that I see this year, just because I've kind of sworn off them at this point. It's just I think this trailer is showing us that they're throwing a lot of stuff at the audience with so many characters, so many potential characters that we don't see yet, which seems to be, you know, par for the course now with Marvel. I'm really concerned at how ugly it looks. A lot of the shots just look terrible. Throwing in the whole mutation angle, the Daredevil angle, the potential Jean Grey angle, which I don't think they're doing that. I think that's just a stupid rumor.
As of right now, Sadie Sink is just listed on the cast, but not actually given a anything.
Yeah, my concern here is that they're just doing way too much, especially coming off of No Way Home, which was such a big event movie for Spider-Man. And of course, him moving away, I was hoping they would get to, you know, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's moved on from this kind of Avengers involvement and all that, and now he's just being Spider-Man. That's what I was hoping to see. And again, it's just so much crap they're throwing at us. That's probably going to bring the movie down a lot. But I'll still see it. I'll give it a shot, but I just don't really have much hope for it. Though I'll say
it's funny because if there's one character who can in Marvel who you should have no concerns about pulling their own weight in a movie, it's Spider-Man. You know, he's proven to work no matter what, even in the TASM bad era, which really was just because they announced flat out that it wasn't going to be continued. That's what really screwed that up. But even those movies were making money, you know, and they weren't particularly well marketed, and a lot of people questioned a reboot after Tobey Maguire. But I've always said this: there's two movies that really proved that Marvel's characters could be like these financial box office powerhouses. And I don't mean like a lot of people say Blade was the movie that kind of saved Marvel, but it wasn't this. It wasn't like X-Men and Spider-Man in terms of this, just these huge, box office numbers. But Spider-Man has consistently done amazing. There's no reason to assume that you need to add all of this, especially when you've erased him. If you want to start clean slate, just do it.
Yeah, I mean this movie will definitely make money. I have no doubt about that because, like you said, Spider-Man is just a box office draw. I'm also curious what's going to happen with him in the coming Doomsday and the Secret War. I guess we'll wait and see. But,
so Secret War, I'm guessing. I mean, if they do it, they really want to do Venom. I know that they've tried to figure out how to get Venom into the Spider-Man movies. They teased it in what was Venom 3, and then they immediately took it away. What was that? That was also, they also teased it in they basically teased it since No Way Home, since Endgame.
Yeah, but that's up to Sony if Marvel gets to play with Venom or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll do that or not.
It does feel weird to not have him at this point in the Spider-Man venture. I mean, then again, we also haven't met any of the Goblin variations, which is hilarious because the name Ned Leeds is a Hobgoblin.
Right.
So,
right. There were like 7 of those guys too, weren't there?
Well, there's been at minimum 4 Green Goblins and I think 3 Hobgoblins.
So, and Ned Leeds is one of them.
Mm-hmm. He was the second Hobgoblin, if I recall correctly.
Philip Mackendale. Christ, I'm having trouble remembering. It was a long time ago since I read up on all that.
It's funny because Hobgoblin has, like, during that era became the more. So I always thought he looked a little cooler than Green Goblin personally, but I think it's mostly because of that cover of him tearing the Spider-Man suit in half. That legendary cover. That gave him that infamy. But also, I do think that it's because the cartoon in the 90s, for some weird reason that to this day I cannot understand, reversed which one was the first Goblin. So originally it was green, and then the Hobgoblin came in as kind of like a more powerful.
And how they made
later.
the Green Goblin in it was just retarded.
Yeah,
like the gas changed the costume. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and I think, and the cartoon did Green Goblin dirty, and I think that to this day, that is why, a lot of people like Hobgoblin more from like that '90s era because he was so much cooler in the cartoon. And
I think I know why they did that though, because in the comics he's fucking ruthless. He's a goddamn killer.
Yeah, until Carnage came along,
twice
he was
in the entire show's run. Mm-hmm. Everything else is destroyed. No one even gets punched in the face in that show. Censors were all over it, so they had to tone it down with him. And the only way they could do that is if you could have very few appearances. So
Hobgoblin was one of Spidey's worst in terms of like violence. One of his worst villains until Carnage rolled around. Carnage takes the cake when it comes to pure unadulterated violence. So,
and they had to do some crazy censorship stuff with him to make it work for a kids show.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's quite literally a serial killer. So it's kind of difficult to get him involved. But to this day, Cletus Cassidy is one of my favorite villains in anything because he says whatever the hell he wants, but in a great way.
You think we'll get anything better than Woody Harrelson?
I think Woody Harrelson was a great choice if he was 20 years younger. I think that was his problem. I think they if they would have cast him, years prior, that was fantastic. There's got to be someone who can do that really well, though. At this point,
I would hope
back
so.
when James Cameron was talking about making Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I didn't think Woody Harrelson was particularly good, nor do I like those Venom movies. I'll even go a step further and say I don't even think Venom and Carnage are particularly good Spider-Man characters. They tend to coast on the fact that they just look cool, which that's kind of what a lot of 90s comic book creation was, especially in the McFarlane era, was just that it looks cool, so it sells. But I'd honestly, if they never did Venom in a Spider-Man thing, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Just like I'd be perfectly fine if they never did Joker again in another Batman. He's one of those characters that people rely on too much.
I think here's the thing is I would agree. I agree with you. I would like to see less Joker for a little while because I do feel like it ends up log jamming a lot of great villains in Batman. But we haven't seen a good Spider-Man versus Venom on screen yet. The one we did get was not a good rendition of it. And so until we see a good one, I don't want to never see it again. I'm okay with it being a one and done if they do it and not having him become this recurring villain, but that's probably the route they're going to like. I would not be shocked if on the big screen, obviously we saw it in cartoons and stuff, but I mean on the silver screen movies. But I wouldn't be shocked if Secret Wars at least sets up for that Black Suit Spider-Man and all that stuff. Because I have a feeling it's going to do is it's going to kind of be this, a lot of people use the term crossroads. I feel like Secret Wars is going to be a reset for somebody. It's going to be like a highway spur. It's just going to go in a bunch of different directions after that. It's the only thing that makes logical sense. They can't continue to try and do these. It just won't work if you keep just adding people. It'll just become too expensive.
Aren't they doing, I assume, because they're bringing in Dr. Doom, they're doing the God Emperor Doom angle with...
It's got to be that. It's the only one that makes sense. Yeah, they probably don't think that far ahead, Zenith. They probably... So here's the thing is, I know a lot of people accuse reviewers of just wanting to live off of hate and, never wanting stuff to get back. I would love it. I'm not kidding. I would give up my channel tomorrow if we got great fucking movies for the rest of my life. I would do it. Because I miss good Marvel movies. I miss good Star Wars movies. I miss all of this. I want these things to succeed. I don't want them to fail, I can get a job doing something else and not have this be my side gig. It's not that big of a deal. But I would love to see a lot of these things. I'm not even sure if they could even put people in that could fix a lot of this shit at this point.
Agreed.
Yeah.
One more thing about this trailer before we move on to another one, and it does involve. Actually, I got two things. First, Michael Mando's obvious ADR. We've seen that kind of thing before in the Spider-Man 3 trailer with Harry. How he says, "What's the line?" It's when he attacks Peter. After he gets,
you're asking me to remember a line from a movie I've been watching quite a long time, and that's not one of those ones I committed every single line to memory.
Oh, they ADR'd Harry's line for the trailer, and it didn't match up with the movie, and it was also one of the earlier signs of the movie being not as good as everyone was expecting it to be, because the ADR line in the trailer was better than what we got in the movie. It looks like we might have a reverse situation with Michael Mando. Yeah. On Michael Mando, we only saw a little bit of his Scorpion in Homecoming.
Yeah, it was just that one brief scene.
And as a huge fan of Better Call Saul and Michael Mando's awesome performance in that, I am curious to see what they're going to do with him as Scorpion.
So another thing, I'm not even sure if they could at this point, because I guess No Way Home in and of itself was kind of this, but like the Sinister Six, would be like a lot of those characters have either been used already in the wrong way or are locked behind some stupid shit like Sony's villain verse, like Rhino and Kraven the Hunter. You got these characters that were fantastic. It should have been used for Spider-Man movies, and they just didn't want to give them up, and that annoys the shit out of me.
I bet Paul Giamatti is begging to come back as Rhino now.
Dude, when you hear some of the stuff I say about Paul Giamatti in my last video for Starfleet Academy, I'm convinced he didn't have a script to this day. I think he was just making shit up, and they just had to roll with it. Like, I would be shocked if Scorpion has more than 10 minutes. Yeah, so here's the thing is, I would have loved Scorpion to be a major villain. I would have loved to see Shocker be kind of a thing. I believe they briefly played around with him in Homecoming, if I recall correctly. There's a lot of villains. Spider-Man has one of the greatest rogues galleries out there, and they've wasted or have no rights to use half of them at this point. It's crazy.
It's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows Batman's rogues gallery. Flash has a great one too. A lot of people don't realize what makes Flash's rogues gallery so good is that they all work together. Like they're actually like a family of villains. So that's something that's pretty cool.
Yeah, with all the legal shit and with where Marvel is now and where they're going to go, I just don't think we're going to get a Sinister Six movie. I don't think it's happening.
Spider-Man is the only hero in Marvel that really has consistently good villains across the board, like where he has multiple ones that can be popped in. Almost every hero in Marvel really has like one or two that people remember, and the rest just kind of go the wayside. Like obviously everybody, the Fantastic Four, everybody knows Doctor Doom, Galactus. You have like Annihilus and stuff, but they end up kind of just being like they show up and they go do their own thing. Like Spider-Man's the only one that really has characters continuously come back at him, which is,
and they're all different. They're all genuinely different types of people, and powers and abilities all have their own agendas.
Yeah,
and
X-Men's kind of like that too, because you got Magneto, you got Sabretooth, you got Juggernaut. They keep coming back, but a lot of I've always said this: if you could take the villains from DC and the heroes from Marvel, you have the greatest comic book universe ever. Like DC just does villains so much better for some reason. Anybody have anything else to add for this one?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, I was kind of trying to waste time for Paul to get here because I wanted him for this one. So, but I guess we could do.
We can jump around a little bit if you need to.
Did you want to do your Backrooms one? Because that one I don't know shit about. So,
all right. A little preface for the Backrooms thing. I don't know how much you guys know about the internet lore of Backrooms. It's a very similar internet space of creepypasta and SCP Foundation, which I listen to a lot just to go to sleep. So
I know nothing about this. This is brand.
You know how the Supergirl trailer gives away the whole fucking movie? Polar opposite with this trailer.
It tells you absolutely nothing, and you're gonna
see
like it.
Very little.
Okay, well let's find out. Let's see what we got here.
I found something in the store.
Okay. What did you find?
What's this dude's name again? I can't
shit. Well, fuck.
I can never pronounce it.
I don't want to butcher it by accident, but it's a name I can't say. But he's a fantastic actor.
I think if I recall correctly, when I did a review with him, with a movie with him in it once, I specifically couldn't pronounce it, so I just kept mispronouncing it the whole time.
I found a place.
There is one part of this trailer near the end that is a little silly, and had me think of Beetlejuice, and I laughed. But the rest of the trailer is genuinely like.
So I'm going to give you a first 30 seconds, just kind of evaluation. Very Stanley Parable of this is what I'm getting out of this.
Hello? Anyone there?
Like, I would not walk down this fucking hallway. Like, I would just be like, nah, I'm going to chill near the giant pile of fucking furniture.
I would, but that's also how I got here.
Look, I know how this sounds, but you gotta understand, it's massive in there.
I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, honestly, I'm getting like real, true Stanley Parable vibes off of this.
With proof.
All right, you filming?
Yeah. Follow my lead.
Clark, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been there every night since I found the place, and I still barely scratched the surface. All right, just take it slow.
Now, if Uninspired was here, this is the part where he'd be calling bullshit on the trailer because this black man keeps coming back to this weird place.
Yeah, he would.
Pull me up! Pull me up! Pull me up! What do you see?
bullies.
She kind of looks like a autistic version of the chick from the AT&T commercials.
Rooms. This place builds them. It's like a maze. It just goes on and on.
I mean, I'm liking it so far. I'd check this movie out.
Yeah, it's definitely compelling. I just don't know anything about it.
It's beautiful.
All right, pause. You see what I mean? The Beetlejuice door thing? That shit.
Yeah.
This is where I laughed. Like, I was on board 100% until I saw this part. I was like, oh, God damn it. Then I started to laugh.
Hello?
I mean, seems kind of interesting to me. I'll check it out for sure. Oop. How'd I remove that scene? That was my.
So
I didn't change that yet. Okay.
Are we still there?
Yeah, we're still here. I think so.
Okay.
Right.
Now, you see what I mean, right? It's a polar opposite of the Supergirl trailer. It shows you just enough to pique your curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm just catching up on the chat real quick because I when I'm doing that I can't see the chat at all. It takes up my whole screen. So yeah, no, I agree, and that's what trailers are supposed to be, especially for something like that, like because it has no real. There's no a movie like that's not trying to appeal to make hundreds of millions of dollars. That's a movie that's okay with making maybe 20-30 million, and I wouldn't be shocked if the budget is absolutely nothing. It's the entire movie seems to be filmed in a abandoned warehouse for the most part. So let's see, Backrooms.
How much of the Backrooms lore are you familiar with?
I know nothing about Backrooms. I have no fucking clue anything about it.
It's similar to a similar concept of like being backstage of a play, but the backstage is of real life. Like the whole we're living in a kind of like living in a simulation, and everything in real life that we exist in, the back rooms are like backstage of the simulation. And there's all kinds of weird shit back there. You see a lot of stocked up of normal shit, like you see in the trailer, stacked up chairs, furniture, but also weird shit like the freaking, what do you call a goddamn spinning wheel on a ship? I'm ashamed I don't know this because I've been on ship.
Spinning wheel on a ship?
Yeah, what you use to steer the ship, the heading. What do you fucking call that?
Isn't it just
a steering wheel?
The helm, whatever it is.
Yeah,
the
helm.
You see several of those in the fucking
helm
walls.
The helm is like the whole area that the wheel is in. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm ashamed I don't know this. I spent years of my life at sea.
We do have Movie Blues sent a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my friend. There's some amazing trailers out now. Backrooms being one that he just said. I'm glad we could cover at least one of those for you today. We're probably not going to get to it. I mean, we have, I don't want to go too crazy with these trailers. Maybe we'll do like TrailerMania Part 2 in 2 weeks or something. Curry Barker's Obsession Hokum. I don't know how to pronounce that. Lee Cronin's Mummy. Love the stream as always. Yeah, I'll get you back on soon, buddy. Don't worry. I love having you on.
Don't do it. That guy is a bum. He's no good. And that comes from the heart.
Honestly, the premise of the Backrooms in and of itself is very similar to an SCP story about the infinite IKEA. A very similar premise where it's easy to get in, but then it's getting out, which is the bitch and a half.
Okay. What's up, Paul?
Yo, what's up, man? Sorry,
we just watched the trailer for Backrooms. Have you seen it?
I did actually.
Okay, so then I don't have to play it again because the more I play stuff, the greater likelihood it is that they'll rip down the stream. So,
bro, it actually looks pretty dope. I don't know what you guys just said about it, but
we pretty much we just started talking about it for the most part. I said that it did exactly what a trailer's supposed to do. It made me want to find out more about what's going on.
Yeah,
and that's really what it is. That's but like the problem with a lot of these trailers, like with the first two that we did were Supergirl and Brand New Day, is you're trying to pull in, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of people to see these movies. So you got to show we got to show Lobo. We got to show this. We got to show everything to get people interested. And it leaves no reason to even watch the movie.
Well, that's exactly what happened with Project Hail Mary, where some dickheads in the marketing department were like, oh, people aren't going to get it, so we're going to show the alien right up front. Yeah, I mean, like, I basically felt like I watched the entire trailer when I saw Supergirl, but
you mean the entire movie?
The entire movie, yeah. And with Backrooms, I'm like, yo, what's going on? It kind of reminded me, I don't know if you guys watched American Dad. There was one episode that had a really cool premise where, like, there was, like, some haunted TV. Sorry, this is American Dad. This haunted TV in the basement, and every time, I forget what the fucking dad was, but he went down to the basement and it would like suck him into this like 1960s like talk show.
Stan Smith,
that's it. Yeah, sorry, I just came from work. Plus I'm sweating balls from the subway.
I really watched that show, but it's just one of those names that's easy to remember.
Yeah, no, I mean, just the only reason I bring that up is because it had that like aura of mystery, like what the hell is this? And honestly, I really hope that this movie doesn't even tell you what the back room is. Just leave the mystery, because that in and of itself is the horror. But we'll see. I don't know, modern audiences and such.
I do have a couple of questions about Backrooms. So is it, was it a YouTube thing first?
Apparently.
Yes.
Okay. And it's in the YouTube, is it found footage? Or no?
Not exactly. You see, I think that might be the direction that the movie's going with this, based on what we've seen in the trailer. But what I'm excited about with this movie is there's the entire realm of internet horror culture. Because, like, for example, like, I know you guys are familiar with creepypastas. Creepypastas range from god awful to very well done. They're like Netflix. They'll take on anyone. And then there's shit like SCP Foundation, where they have very strict guidelines on the proposals that they'll accept from writers. And they're like this big community, whatnot, and fans of these worlds, like me, I'm always saying shit like, it would be really cool if they made a movie or a show based on this concept from this internet story. And Backrooms is one that's been gaining a lot of attention over just the last few years. And this thing being a movie gives me hope for those other internet horror stories possibly being displayed in another medium.
I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out now. I mean, I don't know if so I'll try to get to it in theaters. Unfortunately, you know, sometimes getting to something in a theater, especially when it's like an A24 movie, is sometimes difficult because they have these limited release windows sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, within like 2 weeks, it'll wind up you know where.
Yeah. So,
well, it's just funny. I mean, you know, a YouTube origin that is also incorporating found footage. I mean, Shelby Oaks did it. Why can't this guy do it?
Works for me. So we did. I mean, I don't know if there's much more we could say about that, because it's obviously there's not much to it other than I'm interest peaked. I would
not without going down some rabbit holes that could.
Yeah, I don't want to like. So I still have 4 trailers up, and we're probably gonna get to 2 of them. So
all good. Yeah, I mean, I just hope it's not like The Gorge, where they like explain it away with something stupid. The Gorge worked because the mystery was just there, and they shouldn't have revealed anything.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing is, let me put it this way. Of the 3 movies we just watched trailers for, that's if I had to choose which one I was most interested to see, it's that one.
Which 2 others did you show?
We showed Brand New Day and Supergirl. If I had, like, in that order, I would have to do, it's literally reverse. It's the one I'm least interested in. It was the first one we watched, so.
I will say this one more thing with the 3 trailers we've seen so far. Supergirl might lose money. Spider-Man likely will gain a profit, but if Backrooms will likely gain not maybe a bigger profit, but definitely a better profit to cost ratio.
Profit margin. Its margin will be larger, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even a listed amount, but I mean, what was the most expensive A24 movie? Like, it was barely shit. It was,
I want to say Hamlet, not Hamlet, Macbeth.
yeah, let me see. I mean, A24 movie budgets.
Because hiring Denzel is not cheap.
Yeah, but sometimes actors will take pay cuts for smaller projects like that because they're interested in them. But like
sorry,
The Smashing Machine and Marty Supreme were both $70 million budgets, which I find that to be amazing that they did a $70 million budget for Smashing Machine and Marty Supreme. Civil War, I thought it was going to be Civil War was going to be the highest one with 50.
Yeah. Wow.
Obviously their most successful one in terms of making money was Everything All at Once. So I guess now we'll do because I haven't seen, except for some still frames, I haven't seen shit from the Masters of the Universe trailer, so I guess we'll do that one. That's brand new today. So
I know nothing about this one, but I'm already committed to it on my aesthetic alone.
Okay. Give me a second here. Let me share this to my screen. And we'll go from here. Masters of the Universe.
At some point, you'll have to show me how to share.
Aesthetically, so far,
I know most of you don't remember me.
So far, I'm pleased aesthetically, but I know that there's going to be something in like 5 minutes that's going to piss, in like five seconds, going to piss me off.
Don't do it, trailer. Don't do it. Please be good.
I know all of you.
Well, that's Master of Arms right there. Master at Arms, I mean. And I'm guessing that this is Tila. Played by...
He already looked a little like, a stick up her ass.
Well, that's just how she is all the time. So...
Vest could be a little more open.
That looks pretty fucking awesome.
Oh,
I mean,
that's okay.
It's CG as hell, but it looks pretty fucking cool.
Even though I was stuck light years away on Earth.
I feel like Paul is having some flashbacks to being at work just 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but they also didn't show the he/him bullshit from the first teaser.
Mm-hmm.
Way on Earth.
Oh yeah, totally like work.
I never stopped trying to get back home.
Everything changed since you left.
It's all gone.
Is he big enough for the role?
I mean, they'll probably. I'm wondering if they did a thing. They either did it with CG or they could have. They could have filmed his his Prince Adam moments and then took a break in filming and let him beef up a little bit. That's a possibility.
Took my family. And he destroyed.
Dude, we have that guy on the fucking stream right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey. Road, that's you right there, man. Seriously.
Hello, everyone.
He destroyed our world.
Evelyn.
It's all my fault. I know how it's.
Idris Elba just finds this way to sneak his way into the whitest characters and things and be like, I was black all the time. This whole time I've been black.
Goes to fail. Take the sword. And when you fall, that's your chance to stand tall.
Okay, I'm getting very Captain Marvel vibes out of this section of the trailer. So okay, this is the part that's going to be make or break the whole fucking trailer. The way he says I have the power is going to be the thing that makes it work or makes it doesn't work.
Let me buckle up. Hang on.
Okay, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was kind of mid.
It's okay.
It was kind of mid. So he is a little small by He-Man standards, but then again, He-Man is also unrealistically jacked.
I mean,
he's like
You know, Chris Hemsworth would have pulled it off.
But no, here's the thing: is you need to have to be He-Man. You need to have like the bulk of a power lifter without the gut of a power lifter. You need it's bodybuilder shape.
You need to look like Caleb from Starfleet Academy.
Or you need like Conan,
This is my home.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you need like legitimate '80s bodybuilding steroid look, not current. Chris Hemsworth might have been able to pull it off because he has a bigger frame.
Somebody wants to brawl.
I need every man, woman, or whatever that is.
It was definitely that was definitely one of the Goombas from the '90s Mario movie. That's what that is.
Whatever that is.
Okay, hold on. This just took any aura out of this character.
That screen should be have more. There's no balls behind that screen. There's nothing.
You may have the power, but you're too scared to use it.
Honestly, that's the thing that's holding this whole fucking movie up is that Skeletor looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Scared to use it.
Trust me, I know how to use it.
Is that a sex joke?
Might be. I mean,
be.
I know how to use my bone.
You tell everyone that you're from another planet.
I mean, I'm getting very Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
it definitely has a Marvel
joke at the end of the trailer.
This makes you sound a little very crazy.
Definitely Marvel-y feel.
Yeah, I get a Thor 1 vibe from it
Gen
more
Z
than Guardians.
talk.
I would say, no, I would actually say Thor Ragnarok vibe from it, to be honest with you. Like,
Which is basically Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, in a way. But yeah, I mean, that was a lot better than I thought it might have ended up, but still not particularly amazing. Like there was some shit that hold on, let me scroll up here a little bit. Apparently Backrooms estimated budgets between 9 and 15. Yeah, they'll blow that out of the fucking water just on people being interested to find out what the hell the movie's even about. They'll there's enough people to do that.
They're taking the Godzilla -1 approach, which, yeah, okay.
So here's the thing is, yeah, okay, apparently I read this, that he said he represents toxic masculinity, but like, I don't give a shit if the director says something like that, if it's accurate depiction and that's his mental interpretation of what it is, whatever, I don't care as long as it's an accurate depiction. And it seems like from the trailer, it looks very accurate.
Yeah.
I like Ryu Planeswalker. He says that he looks good, but he sounds pretty bad. They should have cast me to do this fucking movie.
You mean Skeletor?
I think that's what he's talking about.
We only have 2 lines, so let's not pass too much judgment on 2 lines from him. I grew up a pretty big He-Man fan, and you know, I actually have a soft spot in my heart for the the Dolph Lundgren one. Still one of my favorite bad movies to this day. It's a bad movie. Let's be honest. It's a bad movie.
It's a guilty pleasure. Come on.
Don't badmouth.
It's I always say you're allowed to like bad things. It's totally allowed. It's not like a cinematic masterpiece of a movie. It's just fun.
We all have bad movies that we like, but we're still willing to call them bad. You know,
look,
we all have them.
The thing is, Skeletor's voice has rarely ever had menace to it. Even if you go back to the cartoon, I did the joke before backstage. I am not nice. That's how he talked. It was, I am not nice. I am not wonderful. What? That's how he's talked. It was like, so anything is more menacing than what we've gotten over the years.
I always really liked I mean, I haven't watched the old movie in a while, but the bad woman with like the really like shiny red lipstick. Fuck, what was it?
Oh, Evil Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evil Lynn.
I was like a
I'm
little kid. I was
I'm
like,
actually more looking forward to the memes that are going to come from this trailer with how the Skeletor meme is going to evolve.
oh yeah.
I just feel like what's going to end up happening is this is where they're going to probably get hurt. I wouldn't be shocked if this movie has a lot of bait for sequels and spin-offs and trying to do it. I wouldn't be shocked because the next thing that they're going to want to do is a She-Ra movie after that. You know it. It's just going to happen.
But you know what's going to happen with that.
Oh, I know. It's going to flop like crazy if they do release it. But I mean, and then you have a bunch like there's some side characters. They'll probably try to spin some character into a show. Like they'll probably try to get like a a Master at Arms.
Yeah.
Man at Arms spinoff, and it's gonna be a it's just they're gonna try. That's what I feel. It's gonna be too much too soon. Very similar to what happened with Superman, where it was just clearly okay. We want to have Green Lantern in here because we want to do lanterns. We want to set up for Justice League International. We want to do all this shit. I don't think it looks half bad, but that also means it doesn't look half good either.
Yeah.
So, cautiously optimistic. Or cautiously pessimistic. I don't know which one it would be better. Definitely CGI heavy. Kind of getting sick of that.
Yeah.
But then something like for Eternia, it's going to be it's going to be difficult to really show a lot of that shit. Like it's hard to do. It would be hard to do a practical Eternia. I remember if you remember in the Dolph Lundgren one, it was really just big glass pillars. That was pretty much all they did. It was like glass pillars and deserts.
80s, you know.
I'm saying it's hard to do something like Eternia in a practical style.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel. It's like I'm right in the middle of like this could be really bad or it could surprise me.
I definitely fall on the bad spectrum. I have to say, I disagree. I think it actually looks CGI wise and everything. I think it looks pretty bad.
Well, you don't like CGI very clearly.
Well, I like CGI fine, but it's garish in this trailer.
It's a little bit too much. Like I said, it looks too much like Guardians of the Galaxy, and that went like really heavy CGI, especially by the second and third one. So, I'm with you. The CGI just doesn't look as good as like 2010s CGI.
Yeah, that's because it's just too much of it. That you can only render so much think about it. When you render a video on your computer that's fucking 20 minutes long and has no computing power, it still takes. My computer's brand new and it still takes several minutes. Imagine if you had to render every single minute of it was a new computer generated screen. It would take hours, and that's just one section. It's.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think they pay the CGI experts enough, or whatever they call them.
They're artists. They're CGI artists.
They don't pay them enough. They work under like crunch time.
That's really what it is. It's the deadlines that kill them. They cut corners because of deadlines.
And then it ends up looking like shit. I mean, take a movie like, again, I'm gonna keep harping on it, but Project Hail Mary, all practice.
Oh yeah, and also let's not forget that most of us either render in 1080p or, in my case, because the visuals are not as big of a deal because I put a filter over it, 720. If we do it in 4K, it's going to take even longer. Or IMAX. Imagine doing it in IMAX.
Yeah. Movies aren't shot in IMAX. Maybe they have like a few minutes shot in IMAX, and
most of them are. It's because it's a weird ratio.
Yeah,
it's its own ratio that requires its own kind of cameras and shit.
4x4 or something.
Well, hold on.
It's very expensive to shoot on.
The 80s Dolph Lundgren movie was mostly practical with god awful CGI.
Yeah,
but how expensive was it?
Oh, no idea. Let's see.
Because going practical always looks better, unless you're that movie. But going practical always costs more, but usually looks better.
22 million in 1987 money. So 22 million.
$20 billion today.
22 million.
It's like
1987 worth today.
Probably about double that.
Let's see.
Probably about 40, 45.
Yes. No, about almost six. I mean, according to this, it's almost 600 million. Sorry, 60 million. Sorry. So, sorry, it was just a bunch of zeros, so I was reading it wrong. But it's almost 60 million.
A lot of foam in that movie. A lot of foam.
I mean, I think that, but this comment, this from the chat sums it up. It's probably going to be bad, but it might be good. That's how I feel about almost every big budget movie nowadays. It's like,
except for like Dune.
It's like I shouldn't live my life being like, maybe, like I should look at something and be like, that looks fucking awesome. I got to see it. And there's moments in this where I'm like, and it might just be nostalgic, 5-year-old light minute, being like,
and that right there, because that's the consensus on most of these fucking trailers. That right there is why I suggested we should throw the backrooms in here too, because it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. It's going to make you like, okay, this actually looks okay,
Yeah, I mean, as a kid who owned the all of the weapons from the old cartoon, it's part of me wants this to be good, especially after the Netflix garbage that they came out with that show.
Christ.
Like 5-6 years ago.
I can't imagine what you went through with that as a fan. Like probably what I went through as a Star Trek fan with Starfleet Academy.
Why did you put yourself through that?
I mean, I watched 2 episodes and that was it.
No, I meant Road.
Oh well,
so I can make videos about it.
I guess.
I did. I put myself through Starfleet Academy, because people asked me to, and I kind of hate them now for making me make those videos. But it's like,
I don't know, man. I made a video about something I liked. I got almost 20,000 views out of it.
Yeah,
the Project Hail Mary.
There you go. My style doesn't really work with something like Project Hail Mary, unfortunately. So
yeah.
My positive videos tend to be too long and take me months to make.
That's okay, because positive doesn't matter. It's like positive, like if you're saying something positive, it's relevant all the time. It's negativity is what is algorithmically driven.
Got to get it when it's hot.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll let you guys pick. I have a feeling we're gonna go with this one, but let's. I have 3 left. I kind of just want to do one more, and then maybe we'll save the other ones for a future episode, like the next episode.
I personally don't care. Bomb, what do you think?
I'm leaning toward Dune 3, but
we have Dune 3, the Maul Shadow Lord trailer, which was, and then we have. I'm gonna say no. Harry Potter's been done to death, so I don't want to do that one. So it's pretty much down between Dune 3 and.
That's fine. Let's do Dune 3.
Okay,
I'm down for Dune.
Okay, and then that'll be like the last one for today, because
I have Maul that looks like shit already.
Yeah. Okay, let's. Spotlight. There we go.
If we have a girl.
Is it supposed to be this quiet?
I mean, I could crank it up. I'm just afraid it's going to.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You know what trailers actually don't screw around with the copyright? The ones from Rotten Tomatoes trailers.
Like her mother.
I usually use those.
I feel like I've seen too much Zendaya today. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, you already paused on her too many times.
What's the word? Here's the thing about Zendaya, and I'll
her last name? Like just
I'll look it up.
What do you say? Seal? You just go.
No, she actually has like a pretty long name actually, but she just her full name is Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman.
Just go by Zendaya Coleman. Like, geez.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is, but so she cleans up really well, but for some reason they're hell bent on making her as ugly as possible in every single thing she's in.
What if it's a boy?
I would name him Leto.
Jared Leto.
So he would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
Like here, she's just kind of average looking, but then again, she's supposed to be like a desert.
I mean, she's kind
weirdo.
of. She's kind of. I hate her with all my passion, but she looks kind of cute there.
Like, yeah, by standards of like, I live in a desert and worship water. Yeah, she's looking pretty good right here by that standard. I mean, Rebecca Ferguson also does live on this planet.
Oh
now, so
God!
I'm just gonna point that one out. That's my kind of woman.
Yo, she's my hall pass, hands down.
Why didn't you just break up with your girlfriend? You don't need a hall pass no more.
Oh, no hall pass. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you don't even you got a whole ass fucking book of hall passes now.
I mean, if I could just track down Rebecca, you know.
My celebrity crushes have always been, she's up there. It's her, Kat Dennings, and fuck, my brain just what's her face? Fucking Agent Carter. I'm like reading the
Kelly Atwell. She's on my list too.
Sorry, I'm like watching the trailer and my brain just fucking.
I actually bumped into Kat Dennings once in the city.
What?
Like, actually
Wait, what?
into her.
What? Wait, what?
What?
Where?
So,
where?
like,
What?
It was.
Where?
Like, I want to say on like 40th and Madison, they were like filming, and I was just in a fucking hurry, and I didn't give a shit that they were filming, so I walked straight through the set, and I like walked right past her. I like brushed up against her.
Oh, was it? Did you brush up boobies? Did you brush on boobies?
Okay, I'm
okay,
good.
this is unfair. Like, why does this thing never happen to me? Why do you get to live in the city and have these things happen to you? And I'm over here on the fucking other side of the goddamn bridge. Like,
More enemies, fight back.
Oh, there she is. Wait, no, she's coming.
Oh, shit.
Wrong
I
one.
haven't watched this
That's Florence Pugh.
I'm doing the best I can.
I mean, some people give I think Florence Pugh's kind of cute too. Like, she kind of has like this weird sort of awkward cuteness to her.
Protect my family.
I see what you're going for with Florence, but she looks too much like one of my ex-wives.
I mean, you have like 7 ex-wives, so I'm sure you have plenty then.
How did father do it?
Your father never started a war.
She looks like she fell asleep at a frat party.
Oh yeah, totally.
Threw all over her face. Like,
She left her shoes on when she passed out.
was that what's her face?
Yeah, they made her ugly in this movie.
I think that's part of the whole Arrakis thing. Is everyone just kind of gets uglified?
Oh, desert is unkind.
Yeah, I mean, if I mean, this is probably what your average desert goer looks like right here, just walking through sand and sun, and probably has never heard of a moisturizer in their life.
I mean,
that is very true.
Looks like probably
It is.
Like they don't have any lotion. Come on.
Is that Paul Bettany?
No, that was Robert Pattinson.
Oh, is that right?
Hold on, I'm trying to stop it. It's such a quick clip.
That totally looks like Paul Bettany. But anyway.
The thing is, they will never lean into the jihad, concepts of Dune hard enough for this movie to work.
I mean, jihad doesn't,
But I must not die
well these days.
yet.
That's what I'm saying. It hits too close to home of like things that they don't want to glorify. They wouldn't want to glorify that.
Well, in the book, the jihad,
like against
Messiah is just more it's over in Dune Messiah. The jihad is over.
Well, I think this is really just Dune Messiah in name, from what I'm hearing, and it's really not like it's actually like a different. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the books, but
actually, from what we're seeing here in the trailer, that's actually more than they talk about the actual jihad in the book. So actually, I think we're actually going to get more of that than what we've seen in the book.
Well, yeah, from what I've been told, because after the first two movies, I got, I had never read Dune, and I got the audiobook, which is actually a solid audiobook, might I add. It's got like a lot of sound effects, and I enjoyed it. I listened to it while I was on like commutes and stuff, and but I didn't go any further because a lot of people told me it starts to get a little like crazy, almost like drug induced insanity kind of levels after a while. And I was like, okay, I'm cool with just the first book. I'm fine with that. I wasn't like looking to go down a rabbit hole after seeing a movie kind of thing. But
yeah, Short Timers is kind of like that too with Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, like Dune looks okay. I mean, it has a lot of the same shit. Yeah, there you go, like LSD crazy. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people told me, that it was a lot of the later books, like you could clearly tell where there was some heavy influence from substances involved.
Hey,
Dune Messiah is not too bad. It gets really wild in Children of Dune, and then beyond that.
I think Children of Dune was the one that people warned me about the most. But because I remember I sat next to, when I saw Dune 2, I sat next to a guy who was like a mega fan, like read all the books, like was, and like was like super into them, like a guy who read them multiple times kind of stuff. And after the movie was over, I was asking questions, because I wanted some context for things. And he started, that's what he said. He was like, once it gets to like the third book, it's like insanity. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of, it's almost everything we just said about Masters of the Universe applies to Dune 3. It's very, the environment is so Arrakis itself, much like Eternia, is a character in the story.
Yeah.
And if not done properly, you're not getting the, I'm worried that they're gonna try to go too bombastic with it, because of how the second one was received as this visual spectacle. And the story will get lost in the visuals kind of thing.
Yeah, but at least the visuals were better. Yeah. The CGI, you got to admit, the CGI in the Dune movies was way better than anything Marvel shot out in the last 10 years.
Well, there was definitely practical involved in the Dune movies as well. So there was, it allowed for the stuff that was CGI to be really used properly.
I'm not pro or anti CGI, but I can see where you're coming from with that, because when you compare it to Marvel, where everything's on a goddamn conveyor belt and they're more concerned about output as more than it actually looks. Comparing that to a project with Dune, where they're doing 3 and they're committed to it and they're going to do the best they can with it, you can totally see the difference in the quality of the CGI itself.
They're taking their time with it.
Yeah.
They're not, putting out 3 movies a year or whatever.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm guessing maybe this was the guy I sat next to at the. By the way, nice. I like that you have the like golden eagle coin there. That's pretty cool. But that's kind of the general consensus from a lot of fans of Dune, is that it's Dune in name and kind of scratching the surface only. Like, it's very much, there's so much more that could have been done, and it probably should have been a mini series or something on, like maybe like a 6 or 8 episode mini series that really drew out the story over the course of eight or so hours.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get your money back from a show as you would with a movie.
And unfortunately, that's the massive problem, is movies. If you want to do 4 movies, you're looking at a minimum. Even if you film them back to back to back, you're looking at a minimum of 6 years.
Right.
Because obviously you're going to have to put all the post production on all of them is going to take time. Even if you can get 2 movies out like this one, then the following year you can do that, but you can't do it with 4 from the same.
I mean,
there needs to be some time off between some of the stuff.
Well, what the first one was 2017. The second one was when 20.
21, I think.
Yeah, no.
It was when I was doing YouTube, so maybe 22 or
No, I was already doing YouTube, so it had to be at least 2022. Probably 2023. I'm going to say 2023.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dune 2. Oh, I still have the poster. 2024. It's right. The poster's right the fuck next to me. I used it as a placemat years ago and just like never took it back away. It was March 3rd of 2024, or March 1st of 2024 was when it came out.
Right.
As evidence, I suggest the vast majority of modernist dipshits disagree with you. Who are the modernist dipshits? About about the David Lynch one. So I never watched that one. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know shit about it. I know that a lot of people say that it was more accurate, and somehow in one movie, and it was still more accurate or whatever. But I don't know.
It's actually a very prevalent name in science and fantasy writing that agrees with that sentiment. Harlan Ellison. He loved David Lynch's Dune.
I know
I'm talking about,
Harlan.
do you?
I know Harlan Ellison, yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll probably see it. I won't be super invested in it as a series, so I won't be offended by the stuff that that the hardcore fans will. Yeah, it's about
your reaction to this is my reaction to Masters of the Universe. I have no connection to that whatsoever. This will be definitely the one out of all the trailers that I'm definitely going to see. While I agree the Villeneuve Dunes aren't a perfect adaptation, I think they're definitely a really good companion piece to the books. And so this is, like I said, the one out of all of them I'm definitely going to see. I'll definitely see it on an IMAX or possibly a good Dolby screen.
I saw it in like proper IMAX, and it was bomb.
Oh yeah, I saw it in IMAX as well when it that was like I made sure I was like I got to see this way, you know.
Yeah, we have a full IMAX here in Nashville, and it's always great. So that's where I'll definitely be seeing it.
I still have not seen the second Dune movie. I'm sure it's good. You know, I'm sure it's worth seeing, but I'm not as excited about this as many other people, you know? So I'm probably going to skip this one too. I'll probably regrettably see Doomsday instead just to talk about it and then regret my life choices later.
That's the thing that's going to make it hard for everybody. It's going to be a weird era for YouTube because there's going to be those two drops. It's going to be like Oppenheimer, but Barbenheimer, but without the split. So like I said it, I think I said it in the last show. I don't know if it was on the last show I did for this or if I was on something else. The reason why Barbenheimer worked and that became a thing.
Stream when you said this.
What?
You were on my stream when you said
I was drunk when I said it. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I was on your stream. So I'll say it again, is that they didn't have the same audience. The same core audience wasn't. So you had that whole, you know, a husband and wife combination would go. One would go see Barbie. One would go see Oppenheimer. They were relatively the same length of movie. I mean, you know, and you had to play around with it a little bit, but they were both over 2 hours. And
almost 3 hours.
Well, Oppenheimer was really long, but you might have to play around with the time a little bit. The Oppenheimer would start a little sooner, but you get out at relatively the same time, you know, and you go home, and it's like you went to the movies with your spouse or significant other or whatever without actually going to the same movie. That's not going to happen with Doomsday. It has the very similar target markets. It's going to be that what they want, what they can only hope for is that people go out of one and go right into the other. That's not going to happen if they're both 2.5 hour movies. No one's going to sit there for 5 hours plus.
Yeah,
you know, plus
I'm definitely seeing this one. I do not care about Doomsday at all. Like I said, Spider-Man's probably the only superhero movie I'm going to watch all year.
I will tell you one thing though. That is, movie theaters are
really banking on it.
Really banking on this. It needs to be their biggest December in 20 years because I've talked to multiple owners of high level employees, like managers of theaters, and they're all like, "We're fucking hurting, man." It's it's you go to one and
Well, look, it's exactly what. So I showed up to the early screening of Project Hail Mary on the Monday. Had I gone on the Thursday, Ryan Gosling
yeah.
was in there, and he was just like, "Yo, it's not the audience's job to keep the theaters alive. It's our job as actors and producers to put out stuff that you people like."
I feel like Gosling is slowly going into his Tom Cruise era. I feel like
Tom Cruise is fucking great.
Well, I'm saying if you think about his career path, so like obviously Tom Cruise starts out his career. He's kind of like the heartthrobby guy. He takes sort of the those early roles and he transitions into more action oriented stuff, and he becomes like the champion of the general audience almost.
Yeah,
I feel like Gosling's almost following that same path.
Except for Tom Cruise took like a couple of movies like The Firm and A Few Good Men.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan
elevated
Gosling
them.
Like those are more like intelligent movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one for one. It's not like, but it's. I just feel like it's a very similar career path. He's kind of ever since he somehow hijacked Barbie and made it more about Ken than Barbie, and then he had the Fall Guy, which despite being
I like the Fall Guy, man. That was
despite being not the greatest movie in the world, at least it was kind of a love letter to the people who make the movies work, and and it was definitely they thanked the fans immensely for watching it. So, and I like when I see that shit. When I see like an actor actually being humble. It helps a lot. So
like when I remember, and this is why I thought that we were emerging from the dark age of cinema when Tom Cruise came out hat in hand, almost tears in his eyes prior to Top Gun Maverick, saying, "Hey, we did this for the fans. This is for you. Please enjoy." I was like, "Oh shit, we're out of this. We're finally out of this."
And I think there's going to be these ones that just pop up and do that from time to time.
Yeah,
and
Seth Rogen did that with Ninja Turtles, and you could really like Mutant Mayhem, and you could really see that he put all his fandom into it, and it showed, and it was a good movie. And I'm wondering how many of these actors watch Drinkers streams. Because Gosling might be.
Well, considering the fact that Andy Weir got some shit for his comments on that stream, I'm guessing that at least some of them watch it. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else that you guys would like to touch on before I start to call it a day? Only because I don't want to watch another trailer. I feel like if we did another one, it just drags down this. Oh, hold on. Brian Bernardi, 8413.
Right now, I don't think any of us have the energy to appreciate one.
Brian Bernardi, 8413, who's an actual real life friend of mine, that they're planning to move Doomsday away from Dune. I mean, I think theaters would still be okay with that because they'd still come out within the same month of each other. I don't think theaters really give a shit if they come out on the same day. I don't think you're ever going to be able to recreate Barbenheimer. It was just a
one-off.
It was a naturally occurring thing that just it took on a life of its own because of memes.
Yeah.
It just you can't force something like that.
I mean, it was a fun audience engagement because it was just so damn silly. Like Dune and Doomsday. You're gonna call it Dunes Day? That's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, I got a good one when right after that I did Sound of Turtles. I did Sound of Freedom followed by Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And it worked pretty well.
That's where they stopped.
Shells of Freedom.
Shells of Freedom.
The Ninja Turtles stopped child trafficking.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, I mean, this is just kind of one of those weeks where it was just. This is the time of year where they dump all the trailers because.
When the hell are we getting summer trailer? Because like we've gotten all these like little one-off bullshits, but like not a real proper one.
No, a lot of but this is the gear up for what normally would be that late April, early May, like they're gonna start dropping movies, and usually by the end of June, you've had most of the big releases.
I mean, tomorrow is Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, were you listening before when I told the story?
I have it, because I had to be on the subway.
So I'll tell you backstage, but basically, movie theaters are fucking retarded, and I hate them. But I'll tell you backstage. Everyone else already heard that story.
To your point about movie theaters and profits, in research I did for our now defunct Mario Galaxy conversation, the year looks to be 2026. Looks to be it might be a big year for profits in movie theaters because there's a lot of big. Mario Galaxy's projected to hit 1.2 billion.
I wouldn't be shocked if it does.
Project Hail Mary's knocking it out of the park.
What's that at right now? I don't even know.
Just over 500 million.
Yeah, and that wasn't a movie that a lot of people came into the year expecting to be amazing. In terms of numbers.
It only had a 32% drop in week 2. Typically, it's double that.
It's because there's a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's basically Top Gun Mavericking it,
and then people that don't know what it's about.
It's Top Gunning it. It's really that's what kept Top Gun in theaters as long as it was.
It's actually coasting off of The Martian, because The Martian was another great book, movie great, and then people are like, oh well, holy shit, this might be another one, and it was.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of his second book. I thought the main character was an asshole.
What's the second book?
Is it Artemis?
Probably.
Yeah, that's right, I think.
Yeah. Which, by the way, FYI, everybody should go watch the launch tomorrow, Artemis 2. Humans are going...
it'll be everywhere. So even if you don't catch it live, you'll be able to see this footage will be everywhere for 3 days. So,
quality of the movies aside, because we don't know how good they're all going to be, I think 26 is going to be a big year for movies as far as the money that's made.
Yeah, this feels like the first true recovery year in the the post-COVID era. They can't use that excuse anymore. We're 4 to 5 years away from that, so all of the cycle is gone from that era. So this is really the year that they need it to course correct. Obviously when all that should happen, the first couple years right out of COVID, so 2023, 2024, you had a lot of holdover movies, and then you had that weird, but end of 25, 26, that's not an excuse anymore. You can't. So if things are failing, they're failing on their own merit. It's not because it was delayed. It's not because they cut corners. It's
Yeah, Disney alone will have a massive year this year with Spider-Man, Avengers.
Well, Disney only gets half of the profits from Spider-Man. So.
Sure, but they also have Avengers and then the Moana live action later this year. So,
but Moana, that's such a weird one, and I almost added that to the list, only because of how uncanny valley that shit really is. It just looks so. I feel like people will walk out of that movie because they're going to feel uncomfortable watching it, watching The Rock's face.
I disagree, and I can only say
The Rock's face on that body just looks so weird. I just feel like people are gonna. I don't think they're gonna be walking out because they think it's bad. I think they're gonna be walking out because they don't know why they feel weird watching this. It's
I can only speak from spending time with my young nieces who are 4 and 5.5. They're obsessed with Moana. They watch it literally. They would just watch it on repeat if they could, and most kids their age are. So, I think this is going to have a big audience. I think it's going to make a ton of money. I'd say probably rival Lilo and Stitch from last year. So that's just mine.
I think Moana will do fine as far as financially, but the kids will love it. But it's probably going to have a lot of uncomfortable parents because of what Dark Hour is talking about. Because I see what he's talking about. I looked at that and I thought, nope, I'm not going to do it. Not doing it.
No, but yeah, there's definitely. If there's a year for good profits in Hollywood, it's. Well, I would even just a season. It's coming up. The Mario Galaxy. I wouldn't be shocked if by the next show that we have, we're talking about how it's already or about to exceed $1 billion.
Toy Story 5 is also out this year. And those make
It's another
money.
one of those ones. It's like
Those
I always
print
say
money.
this. I always say this because a lot of people. Toy Story 4 wasn't a bad movie. It just was an unnecessary movie.
They all were after the first one.
I mean, I still think I think as a trilogy, it worked just fine. You know, like you have, Andy as a kid, Andy as growing up, and then Andy as an adult getting rid of his toys. I think that's a perfectly good arc for them. But then the fourth movie comes along. It has its moments. It looks like a Toy Story movie. I mean, granted, you have a fucking fork, a plastic fork. It's a character, but it wasn't terrible. But it just was unnecessary. You didn't need to do it. You had a perfect ending where the third movie ended. People were crying in the theaters when the third one came out. I remember it.
Yeah.
Like they thought the toys were going to die in an inferno. Like, no, that wasn't going to happen.
But at this point, Toy Story is a multi-generational audience now. So
yeah,
it's a money printing machine. So
yeah, I mean, who knows? If nothing big happens by the next show, maybe I'll do TrailerMania 2. The search for more money through money. But other than that, does anybody have anything else they want to touch on before we call the night?
No.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, then that just leaves me to thank my co-hosts aren't here. So, hold on. Let me do this. I almost forgot to. Everybody has to plug their shit. This is where you tell us where you are, where we can find you, what you're doing next. I almost forgot. I'm sorry about that, everybody. What happens when my co-hosts leave and I have to do the whole thing by myself? So let's start with Paul. You came in last. So you exit first.
Yeah, so I just put out a couple of videos on Project Hail Mary. One just started popping off. The first one's like a proper review, and then I talk about in the second one about the dumbassery of the marketing department blowing a major surprise in the book. Probably put out something for Daredevil Born Again.
That's my next project after.
Probably something for Super Mario Galaxy, although I'm trying to diversify my audience. So I might try for a better The Pit video, because
I just feel like something like a review of Mario Galaxy. I remember when I did the first Mario movie. It's hard to do a lengthy video on that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. There was some references and this happened, and it's kind of like the video game. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
It's just there's not a lot of substance there to work with. So
that's what I'm trying to get into, is more substance, and The Pit is more social commentary. Although my first few videos on it were not as great view-wise, but
don't worry about your views. Just worry about putting out the best you can. And if it pops, think about it like this. Like, I've had videos that popped off and they weren't my best work and I got nothing out of them. And then I've had videos that were amazing work that just sit there and do nothing. And then if I do get that's good. Think of it as a back catalog. If it doesn't pop off, it's a back catalog. It's not that big of a deal. It's, unless it's your primary source of income, then it matters. If it's just a hobby that you're hoping to, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
20,000 views is more than most people will ever get on a video in their lifetime. So it's, my best video, I still can't believe sometimes that my highest video is approaching half 500,000 views.
Damn.
And I did about other videos that were better than that. Can you go watch those, please? It's
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for making it. I know it was a little rough for you to get here, but you're always welcome on the channel. You know that.
Yeah, of course.
Even if you show up late.
But by the way, I always used to say at our alma mater, better late than never.
Well, that and you better get the test results up front, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Road. Where are you? Well, first of all, where are you headed next? Because I love to hear where you're driving next. And then what's your next project?
I am Road on Life Productions, and right now I'm somewhere south of Atlanta on the 75, and I gotta fight my way up towards Louisville, Kentucky, and I gotta be there before 1 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time.
Okay.
And
Is
as far as my work,
that a particularly difficult thing? I'm not sure. You would know the routes way better than I would. I just think of it. I'm just like, yeah, those cities are far apart. I can see that being a difficult.
No,
thing.
that's about a day's worth of driving.
Yeah.
Atlanta on its own is just a bitch because it's just too many people. There's just too many damn people. I'm parked where I'm at now and wait to start early tomorrow morning specifically to avoid rush hour traffic. Because I had the available drive hours to go through Atlanta if there wasn't traffic. I would have gotten stuck and run out of time, and it would have been a DOT thing. So I don't want to bore you guys with how my job works, but I will talk about my work. I have videos on Starfleet Academy. I have 5 videos on them. I'm working on the 6th one and final one right now concerning the finale and doing an autopsy on the season as a whole. Also got videos on Predator movies. I got a deep dive review on Full Metal Jacket.
Hell,
that was a very good video, by the way. I watched that one.
Oh, thank you. My next project, I am still trying to figure out if I'm going to do a Father's Day special concerning a sports movie that was my dad's favorite. It was his favorite film.
Do it.
Or, well, I might not get it out in time. Or if
Start making it now for next year.
Mortal Kombat, I might cover the Backrooms now. First, I need to take a break after Starfleet Academy because, dear God, trying to get these out.
I took a break in the middle
fashion.
of Starfleet Academy. Holy shit, was that finale hard to get through?
My God!
First of all, it's because everything is reiterated. It's just every other scene is just another. They're just talking about a scene that happened a while ago. It's like
it's just it's so much second screen writing bullshit. Is what.
It made it difficult to write a script, honestly, for that last.
It's so repetitive, and that's just one of the many sins of that show. So I need, after that one's out, because that's going to be the longest video of my video series of it. I'm going to need to take a break because trying to get these fucking things out as fast as I can, while also putting in 70 hours a week at this job, has been tough. I need to I need to take a fucking break, and after I've rested, then I can decide which project to focus on.
That's a good way to look at it. If it's like I said, the same thing I just said to Paul. If it's like a hobby, it's not your primary source of income or anything like that. There's really no reason to kill yourself to put out content.
Oh, it's been fun. It's just
as long as you're having fun, that's what matters.
Really ramped up at the same time, so juggling both has been
so early on in Starfleet Academy, I had fun making fun of it, but then by the end, I was drained. And so that when this video comes out, like quite literally the end is like me just celebrating about how I don't have to, I'm so glad that it's canceled. I don't have to really commit to this for extended periods of time. Obviously they might release season 2, which at that point it will probably just get dumped at like 2 a.m, the whole thing kind of shit. And no one will even know it happened. But thank you for coming on. I know you weren't scheduled, but I think you were, to have something that involves trailers, I should have asked you to begin with. But then again, this was kind of a last-minute decision on the TrailerMania thing. So
I like it.
I didn't know you were doing trailers today until I parked, and then I heard about the Backrooms, saw it, and asked, "Hey, is it in the room?" And that's how it went down.
Whatever you just said. You broke up a little bit there. Review Bomb. It's your first time plugging your shit, so why don't you plug it good?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You can find me on YouTube where I review movies to tens and tens of people. I just checked in incognito mode, and if you type in Review Bomb, I'm the first thing that pops up. So that's exciting.
Great. That's awesome.
I just did a review on the Sydney Sweeney tour de force, The Handmaid, or The Housemaid, excuse me. So you can check that out. We've got a lot more coming up in the future. Finally, reviewing James Gunn's Superman and/or season 2. Project Hail Mary is coming. More new, as the summer movie season wraps up, there'll be more current movies as well. If everyone cares to check it out, that's where you can find me.
Everybody's link except for Road on Life I have to change in the description, but is in the is there. All their links are there. As for me, I will be releasing this week for fucking sure. I'm sick of promising it. Is Starfleet Academy a video 3 is coming out this week. I've already it's actually open next to me on my DaVinci Resolve. I'm almost done with it. I'll be on Jack's show on that Star Wars Girls channel on Thursday night, which is gonna be great because I come home from work, I do that show, and then I go back to work at like 3 hours later, and I'll probably be drunk, so it'll be fantastic. Other than that, I'm going to switch to Daredevil, probably slow-ish for a little while, and then ramp up. I don't like doing the fast turnaround for movies. But if one of these ones that we talked about today ends up really compelling me, I might go jump back into that. Other than that, you know where you can find me every other week here. Just want to thank everybody, all the audience. I want to thank my guests for coming on Tits.
Absolutely.
I just realized what I said.
We all like coming on Tits.
Not the first time someone's thanked me for that, by the way.
Anyway, Tits out.